Yeah, I was doing fine. Started fresh out here in the West for 2 years. Barely ever on my mind. Till a friend called up telling me that you gon' move here. Oh my darling, I've been stalling. I've been waiting for you so damn long. And I want all you and your body coming closer. Ain't nobody gon' know about when we put on a show. On the low and not a soul. Ain't gon' know.
You know, one thing that never ceases to amaze, and I mean this, it never ceases to amaze, is how fast dudes literally backtrack and flip-flop from what they usually believe and what they say. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe I'm even talking to you guys in this way. I can't believe I even have to make this video. I really can't believe it. But I saw something, and it was pretty funny and pretty interesting. So, Sea of Thieves is going head-to-head God of War. We already knew this, right? This isn't anything new. We knew it was trying to go head-to-head with God of War, and the fanboys who refuse to listen to reason and refuse to listen to logic are still latching on to things and are still overhyping stuff as if people are upset or people have anything to fear from them, okay? God of War is a game that has a ridiculous fan base. It is a game that not only has a lot of lore to it, it is one of those games that is just simply just done right. It's one of those games that has done something that was that did something out of the box and just brought some people a lot of joy. Or really, I'm sorry, brought a lot of people a lot of joy. It's one of those games where you pick it up, you instantly just fall in love with. It's one of those games you just have fun with. Me personally, ever since God of War's reveal, I already knew what Sony was doing. I already knew the moment I saw that reveal, the moment I saw Kratos' face, I knew exactly what Sony was doing with the new gameplay style, the new mechanics, the new weapon, which is called the Leviathan, which looks dope, and of course, the inclusion of his son, his first ever son. If you guys don't remember, Kratos never had a son. Kratos had a daughter and a wife, and both were, taken away from him. But, I knew what they were trying to do with this, and I'm still supportive of it. I like what they're doing with God of War. I love the new gameplay mechanics. Now, am I like my boy Hard 8 Times? My boy Hard 8 Times is looking forward to the game. He really is hyped for, well, I wouldn't say he's hyped for it, but he's looking forward to it, right? He's a big God of War fanatic like me. He likes the game. The problem is, he doesn't like, he doesn't know how he feels about the new mechanics, and that's fine. A lot of you have every right to feel that way. This game is not a sequel. It is a retelling, a reimagination of a classic game that brought a lot of us joy. A game that is a big part of a lot of our childhoods. It's one of those games that you pick up, or it's one of those games that we used to pick up as kids, rather, and now we can play again. And I understand why people are feeling the way they're feeling. But one thing that cracked me up, and this literally just happened, as soon as we saw the new gameplay mechanics from this game, or the new gameplay reveal, for this game, as soon as we saw that and how you can play and how you can get around the world and how you, can take out minions and all that, right? I noticed one thing, and it just proves my point every time. You notice how people on the Xbox camp overhype stuff every day. They overhype it. They'll hype it up as if they're going to buy it, day one. But as soon as something like a God of War is shown from PlayStation, as soon as something that is most anticipated, such as Spider-Man is shown or The Last of Us is shown, what do you see happen on the internet? What do you usually see happens on the internet? You see one of the main games that they cling on to completely disappear behind the hype behind these real games from Sony or Nintendo. Smash Bros. Alone stole the thunder from Sea of Thieves. Spider-Man stole the thunder from Sea of Thieves. All these games, people are still hyped from old gameplay from Spider-Man. I know I am. because that game looks 3 times more interesting to me than Sea of Thieves. Now, before somebody comes out of the woodgate, before somebody who comes here that's new to this channel might come at me and go, Ryan, what are you talking about? You're a hater. Hey, I don't hate Sea of Thieves. I don't hate any game. I just find it funny and hypocritical that people went from overhyping something like Sea of Thieves to now being quiet about Sea of Thieves because you see God of War and the new gameplay reveal. We know God of War is going to be great. We know it's going to be great. There's just no denying God of War is going to be an amazing installment in the Kratos storyline. It's going to be amazing. It looks great. It plays great. And it has a nice story behind it. There's going to be a lot of stuff behind this that we're not used to seeing in a God of War game, to be honest with you. They're going for those Last of Us like feels with this. You can see with the emotions on Kratos' face. They have went all out with this game, and it looks amazing. When you look at Sea of Thieves, do you think that's a game that's going to deliver that type of experience for you? No. There's a reason why I'm good friends with guys like Randall Thor. There's a reason why I'm good friends with a lot of Xbox dudes that a lot of you guys would probably go like, oh my god, this is impossible, especially when you look at how I started here on YouTube. When I first started here on YouTube, I literally was in this by myself. I looked at it as like, you know what, it's just me against the world. You look at me now, I'm more interested in hearing anybody's opinion at this point. I love hearing different opinions. I love hearing the different looks from games from Xbox dudes and Nintendo dudes and PlayStation dudes. I love it, especially PC. I love hearing that sort of thing. But when I first started off here, I wasn't like that, and the reason why is because of reasons like this. It's because of things like this, because of Xbox dudes overhyping stuff and not playing them. You know what I'm saying? It's just the hypocrisy behind it. I remember when I first started doing Xbox news on my channel, and granted, right, when I was doing Xbox news, I was just talking normally. I was giving you guys my normal opinion on stuff. It's like, this is what I said too, and I still say this to this day, and people get triggered. I said, like, even if it's something great like Game Pass, I say Game Pass is amazing, right? I think it's a great value. I just think that Microsoft needs to invest more in first-party talent. That's all I have to say. And I will get a plethora, and I mean a plethora of morons come at me left and right saying we don't need that, we got games. Games, we don't need it, right? We don't need these things. All we need is controllers. It's like, guys, you need more than just some limited edition controllers. A glow-in-the-dark Sea of Thieves controller is not winning anybody over. That's not helping your cause. It makes you look like a clown at the end of the day. You're using controllers, something that is meant to play games, over games in general. You're hyping that up over that. You're hyping up something that is used to immerse you and help you enjoy the experience over the actual experience. You're hyping up that sort of thing. Oh, but it glows in the dark, Ryan. Oh, but this controller has, detachable analog sticks, and it has adjustable paddles in the back. Guys, that's not revolutionary. All that's been done already. Microsoft is literally just copying scuff with the Elite controller. Why do you think they came out with the Elite controller? Do you guys really think the Elite controller would exist if Microsoft still had that deal going on with Scuff Gaming? Of course not. They would use Scuff. Scuff Gaming would create their things and do their things. That's what they would do. But it's all a matter of what they really want to do in the long run. They see that they're not competing. They see that you guys are not investing in these games. So they have no choice. Let me repeat that. They have no choice but to sell you other things to make money. That's why they have completely revamped themselves, if you think about it. They have went from a gaming company that gave you an amazing system with like the 360. And let's be real here. Let's be fair here as well. You can say the Xbox 360 had a failure rate that was ridiculously high. And you can say that the Xbox had a ridiculous failure rate and all that, right? You can say that, but at the end of the day, the 360 delivered what matters at the end of the day. They delivered games. The 360 was hitting you with true exclusives left and right. The 360 gave you a true incentive to invest in the Xbox ecosystem. That system had it all. That system had it all. It wasn't lacking on anything. We didn't have this problem with third-party games. We didn't have this problem with first party games with the 360. The 360 had it all. They had the deals, they had their own vision, and they had their own games. And they like legit, when it came from the OG Xbox One to the 360, what did you see with Microsoft and that whole jump? You saw Microsoft focus, and they gave you a system that was completely different. They separated themselves from the pack. They gave you a console that you were looking forward to. A console that not only delivered on its promises, but a console that was to the point. A console that had it all. You look at them now, what are they giving you now? They're not even giving you a console that is future-proofed. It's not. Sad but true. The Xbox One, regardless of the iterations that it has this generation, it's not future-proofed. It's not. Third-party games, it ain't really future-proofing it. Yeah, we know third-party games sells the most, because let's be real here, there's more third-party games than first-party, but let's be real here. Third-party games on the Xbox One ain't doing the trick, man. Dudes clinging on to this thing is 4K enhanced, and it has more textures on the ground, and now they're calling games on PlayStation and Nintendo soupy, whatever, which is one of the dumbest things yet. Third-party games ain't doing nothing for the Xbox, and it won't do nothing for the Xbox. Microsoft needs their own first-party talent. They need their own first-party games, and unfortunately, Microsoft just doesn't invest in games that are worthwhile. Is Sea of Thieves a garbage game? No. Am I going to sit here and say it's garbage? No. The reason why I'm not going to say it's garbage, because I personally have not played Sea of Thieves, and I will not play Sea of Thieves. Because I can tell you right off the bat just from looking at it. And yes, I can do that, people, just from looking at it. Just like you can take a look at God of War, or you can look at a Detroit Become Human, or a Spider-Man, or a damn Gears, a Halo, or a damn Smash Bros, or a Mario. You can look at those games. Legit, you can look at them, especially if you're not into them. But you can look at those games if you're not into them, and you can tell yourself, you can tell the world, because you know that's your opinion. You do not like those games, or you're just not interested in those games. Sad but true. Sea of Thieves, I'm not interested in. Sea of Thieves is not doing anything for me. Sea of Thieves will not do anything for me. Sea of Thieves is one of those games that just will not cut it at the end of the day. It's sad but true. Will I sit here and rub it in your face if God of War completely stomps the game at the end of the day? Nope. Because everybody with common sense already know this. A game that already has a ridiculous fan base, on a system that is selling ridiculously well, and on a system that has more appeal and more things to look forward to over Microsoft. You really think this game is not going to outsell Sea of Thieves? We know it's going to outsell Sea of Thieves. We know this. Sea of Thieves is not going to do anything. So, it is what it is. Sorry. It is what it is. Sea of Thieves, man, is going head-to-head with God of War. And, well, let's just say it's a slaughter. It ain't even a competition. It's not competition. It's not. And I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm just being real with you. Being real and fair with you. I like competition as much as anybody else. But there are just some things that just won't compete with, that just can't compete. If this was something like, I don't know, when Alan Wake 2 going against God of War, you know something? I'll be like, you know what? That's actually pretty interesting. But this right here is not anything interesting. Brand spanking new IP, going against something that has a ridiculous foundation behind it. We already know what's going to win. We know what's going to win. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put that together. It really doesn't. So, that's the video, man. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs down if you did not. And I already know it's going to be a good chunk of you going to hit the thumbs down because you're so upset over this console war. Listen, I told you months ago, if you truly care about Xbox, support these games. Unfortunately, you didn't do that. And now they're going full service, and you morons want to sit there and damage control. And so many people now trying to damage control that. It's so many saying that Microsoft's not leaving. They're still going to exist. The Xbox is still going to exist. Are you sure the Xbox is still going to exist in the way that you think it's going to exist? I'm telling you right now, if it does exist, it won't be your traditional Xbox. It won't be, bro. It'll be like that damn I forgot what that damn thing, Google, no, was it Google? It was one of these companies that try to do it, but it's going to be like a stream device, bro. It's going to be something that goes on your table. It's going to have, you know, it's going to have two options. It's going to have a controller, and it's going to have a TV remote, and it's all going to be streamlined, bro. That's all it's going to be. It's not going to be your traditional console no more. The days of the OG Xbox are gone. You don't have those anymore because you guys didn't want to support the developers. Now look at you now. You went from talking trash about everybody, calling them pedophiles and all this retarded stuff, calling people ponies. Look at you now. You're clawing for anything to try and bring yourselves back from the disappointment and the pure stupidity that you put yourselves in when it comes to this console war. Look at yourselves. Look at yourselves. Look at you. It's more people trying to damage control Microsoft's direction than hyping up Sea of Thieves now. Just goes to show, man, you dudes need to stop fighting this fight. The war is over. Just grow up and play your games. Follow me on Twitter, man. It's up top on the screen. Go follow me on Twitter. If you guys have not noticed that, it's just a heads up display. Go check it out. I'm on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Hit me up there. I always reply to you guys on Twitter. I always do. Okay? I reply to you guys here as well if I get a chance to. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I know I'm rambling at this point, but it's just funny to me. It really is funny to me that people really want to play the victim over stuff that they're the cause of. So, hey, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. I am out of here. Deuces.